Wish I knew. Man,
What's good?
life and times we are back, man. I got my guy back with me. Hey, where your mic?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
right
you
here.
are you on? My fault. Okay, my
I'm
fault.
right
I'm
here.
tripping. We using the new technology. We trying something different. We back, man. It is good to have my dog back, man. How have you been? How's life been treating you, man?
Man, man, it's been good, man. I was working crazy. Uh, my bad. I was working crazy towards the end of the year,
Yeah.
so it kind of took up a lot of my time. But saw you was holding it down. Caught some of your interviews, man. Just glad that you kept the energy going. And sometimes people gotta you need some help when it comes to people finishing what they started. And that was just good that you didn't let the momentum die. You didn't let it just get dormant like that, man. So shout out to you, man, for keeping your persistence.
Man, really, what it was for me is it was just practicing. Like, I know how this thing roll, and I know that if you ain't around, this what we doing is not at full strength. But it's at this point, it's like we was having that conversation. We was talking about KD. It's just about mastering the craft. I just want to get better at it. It ain't necessarily about trying to prove anything. It's just this is what I'm doing, and I just want to show that I'm getting better. But we could talk about all the other stuff, man. We got stuff we can get into, man.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on,
Yeah.
but not to catch you off guard,
Hmm?
and we'll get to it like Shannon did Skip, but no,
Come on, Skip.
but
Skip.
just so, what was some big things for you to like recap the year, just pop culture wise, or even you wise? Was just some things that you wanted to just bring attention to or wrap up for 2022?
For 2022, um, I got a couple things, man. For 2022, it was a year of enlightenment. I feel like as an adult, it was a big boy year. I had the opportunity to really,
Yeah,
prove myself in the workforce and actually, stand on my own. I'm not gonna say it didn't work, but I will say that it was a learning experience, and um, I even had a small sense of success doing that. But really, man, what I took from 2022 is like life is better when you let shit go.
yeah,
That was the main thing that I took from it. I spent a lot of the year kind of just holding on to things, guilt, what I'm saying, uh, issues, even some family issues. But I just found that and it took the end of the year, man. But life is better just when you let some of that shit go. And that's really what I took away from 2022.
nah, man, it's always a good time when you can do that. And like I said, as I get older, I think it's weird. A lot of words that keep coming to me
It's a lot of-
is the words of my parents, and I think I remember my mom always told me, God will give you desires of your heart, and
Yeah.
He'll give you a life abundantly.
Mm.
And that my father always talked about, just live on, sonny boy, live on.
Yeah.
So listening to those, it's like I'm just getting that such a different amount of a peace, because a lot of the peace too is controlling your environment. You control who comes into your life and who has access to you. And
Facts.
sometimes you got to remove yourself from certain things.
Yeah.
So that's just the type of you know, people say the type of time I'm on, the journey you on, whatever you want to say, but that's just the type of thinking I want to have. Just being really grateful and thankful, and just continuing that upward trend, man.
Since we kind of talking about us, I mean, we was, it's the beginning of the year, but like, what you listening to right now? I feel like you kind of got like this. I don't want to say an old man, but you got this old school vibe, man. It's been nothing but. I don't think you played anything. I don't think you played any music that was made after 1995. You know what I'm saying? This whole year, for the most part, I think you really just been you've been in the zone. Like, what you listening to, and what's the
Uh,
inspiration behind that?
Man, not to get all weird, because people be talking about frequencies and all that,
Yeah.
but one thing YouTube did kind of do last year was it give you your stats.
Okay.
I have YouTube Red and YouTube Music, and they said a lot of the music I listened to was mellow,
Mm.
and it kind of reflects my personality, but it's just something peaceful about listening to that music. So I've been listening to Teddy Pendergrass, you know, latest and greatest inspiration. I'm listening to Marvin Gaye. It's
Yeah.
just something so calm about listening to Distant Lovers, or
Yeah.
what I'm saying, or Keep You
Distant
Satisfied.
lovers,
So
I
and then
will
then I want to
lover.
balance it out,
Yeah.
and then I start listening to some New Jack Swing, because man, I'm just really in a happy place. I'm in a peaceful place, and I'm really thankful. A lot of times, man, I'm really just enjoying this thing called life. I'm thankful for the people that's around me. I'm thankful for the things that I'm doing, and it's the beginning of a year.
Yeah.
So this is your chance to really go out. Everybody always talk about New Year, New Me. I gave away that mantra years ago.
Yeah.
It's just now about, you say, working that mastery, getting better. How
Yep.
can I improve?
Yeah.
So that type of vibe, being peaceful, being calm, keeping a good type of like I say, mood, man. It's hard to explain it. And then, like I say, my schedule been free, so I
Yeah.
don't feel weighed down by the job. I got more time to really pour into myself, and I think it's really paying dividends for not only me but my family as well.
Well, that's what's up, man. Speaking of jobs, man, first topic we're gonna get into actually happened at their particular workplace, man. Skip and Shannon, man, undisputed. I think we're seeing this show possibly unravel due to some disrespect that was shown on the air, I guess by Skip Bayless with his comments when him and Shannon were having a back and forth about Tom Brady. For everybody who doesn't know, like Skip and Shannon, like Skip thinks the world of Tom Brady for whatever, and he really just took a shot at this guy's character. But you got to touch on both sides. Shannon has started to be more outward about the disrespect and also kind of having conduct that's detrimental because he's kind of been missing days. I just kind of wanted to get your perspective on the situation. How do you feel about the issue or what happened, and then just disrespect in the workplace in general, like what advice would you give on handling it or
So it's
addressing it?
so it's kind of difficult. So sometimes when you look at TV, you got to look at certain all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, I look at the total picture. Not trying, look at what's really going on.
Yeah.
And to me, let's be real. If you look at that show, the ratings are dying.
Mm-hmm.
They might be getting like 162,000 viewers compared to First Takes, like 984,000,
Mm-hmm.
damn near a million. So I don't know if it's something up with the networks that they want to drum up
Let's
controversy
keep it a
to try
buck.
to
You
sell it.
you think it's scripted?
Yeah, I don't. I barely watch the show.
You-
Sports television is trash
Let's
to me. I
just keep it
only
a buck
watch
with me.
about like 3 minutes of it. I think it's really scripted. Now I do think not this whole thing scripted. My bad. Let me just get to the point,
Okay.
because
Okay.
if you were so fed up, about the even current situation with
Yeah.
what's my man's Hamlin, and
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin, you were so distraught. You had to take off work. You was thinking about your brother. Then dude disrespect you, and you like, hey, let's just get to the show. You still finishing the show. You still talking to him about the Lakers. You're still doing it. If
Yeah.
it was that messed up of an environment, I think like you wouldn't be doing it, or you would see more attention. I
Yeah.
just think this is really a network that's trying to do everything they can to get views.
Mm.
Like right now, that's what it is now. Television is really phasing out. A lot of people are moving online. A lot of people are more so watching clips. A lot of people are doing podcasts. So
Mm.
how can we stay relevant? And I just really think that's what they get to. A lot of it is cringe to me, because
Mm.
my thing is, you could just have a show without all the, part of my French fuckery that's
Well,
going on.
Well, I apologize for having a bogus ass bullshit ass topic. Let's keep it rolling. We talked about this off air. We've been seeing a lot of crazy splurges of scoring. You got Luka with the 60 and 20 and 10. We just looked at Jokic numbers. He's averaging a triple double. We
Yeah,
looked at Giannis
he just
numbers.
had 55. He's averaging like what 37 and 15 or something ridiculous. Laurie Markkinen just had 49. I
Yeah,
think they said 40. It was about at least 40 games of at least 40 points in the
yeah.
month of December. So
Donovan Mitchell went for 72,
yeah, 71. Forgot about
71.
him. So it's twofold. Like a lot of older cats have get off my lawn type mentality. So they want to discredit the skill they're seeing. I won't say it's a matter of defense. It's a matter of spacing.
Mm,
See, I like when older people have perspective because I already can tell like this,
yeah,
like me, and I'll say my off rip. If you take the best athletes in the world and you put them in space
yeah.
and they're able to play 1-on-1 with a spread out floor,
They should be able to get to where they.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they still got to make the fucking shots.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? As compared to the 90s and 2000s, the paint was clogged. So Kobe got to shoot a double clutch
right.
fadeaway. He got to go down, work in the paint. You know, he's driving and then he's meeting the help. Well,
Yeah.
now with the 3-point shooting and the shooting at a high level, if you help off, are you going to keep letting this guy shoot uncontested threes because you want to stop him from driving?
Oh,
So it's like pick your poison. And I like what Greg Anthony said. He said these guys are thriving because they're shooting from spaces and areas on the floor that we just didn't have the luxury to. He
mm,
said it's not that they're not bad and not playing defense. It's shoot. Imagine if Allen Iverson played in an era like this. It's not that it's watered down,
mm,
but imagine if you surround him like a team like Luca has, knowing how quick his first step is, and if you help off, he got someone that can knock him down. Now his team got to keep knocking it down,
yeah.
but you're just going to see great athletes, with the freedom of movement, be able to do that,
The,
and less protection in the paint because people are scared of the 3-point shot.
and then even with the defensive like 3 seconds in the key now, like that
That's been
rule.
around a while though, but I think that's been around since like 2005, since like the Pistons, because the Pistons was like really
Oh,
shutting
okay.
down
Well,
the
no,
league.
dang.
Yeah,
I mean, dang, I forgot. That
yeah,
is almost 20 years now at this point.
yeah. What it really is it's 3-point shooting, and the thing is, it's the regular season.
I think Gilbert hit it on. Gilbert explained it well. Like, and playing defense, the best defensive player has to follow a particular set of rules to play that to play
Yeah,
defense. Whether it's a zone, whatever strategy, you have to follow certain rules in the defense. If you run into an offensive player that is exposing certain pockets now, the offensive player should prevail. Now, I think it's an influx to see all of these games happen back to back like this. I mean, we're seeing 45 and up like by six different people in the 2 week span.
but you're
That's
seeing
crazy.
like, but what I'm saying is, like, I can go to a high school game, right?
Right.
And the most athletic player, the best player, like I saw a guy that really couldn't dribble, but he was more athletic than everybody, got 30 and 20.
Yeah.
All right, that's an outlier. But then you can see on a high school level, like if you just have a quick guard, he just crossing somebody over and he can get 30 points off like all layups.
Yeah.
It's not like these guys are doing that. These are the best athletes in the world. I'm seeing Luca shoot a fadeaway on you. I'm seeing him control the whole game. If you saw Donovan Mitchell, he was 22 for 34. And it wasn't like just all
7
layups.
for 15 from the
He
three.
was losing, and his team needed that.
Yeah.
So that's really what it comes down to. What it is you're just seeing a high level of basketball. Like I ain't gonna lie, some nights it's the regular season, a team can mail it in. You won't see that type of defense.
Mm.
In the regular, the postseason, when they do let guys get a little bit, get away with more freedom on defense, they're not calling as many free throws. Because if you look at some of these scoring outbursts, so Donovan Mitchell shot 25 free throws. Giannis shot like 15 or 16 the other night.
Yeah,
So it's what they're doing from the field, and they're getting these free throws called. I mean, these free throws as well.
yeah. We talked about the three players that I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation that are definitely, at the forefront of even the MVP race. Luca, Joker, and of course, Giannis. I want to take it a step further though. To you, who was the best international player of all time when it pertains to the NBA? Who would you say, or give me your top three?
I would say Hakeem,
Okay, the
um,
Dream.
Giannis, and Dirk. I would say those three. Dirk Nowitzki.
You putting Dirk over because Jokic don't have one,
Yeah, Dirk is over Jokic.
even though he only. But why? Because Dirk got a ring and Jokic don't.
Dirk has a league MVP as well too. And if you look at his playoff numbers, it's like 25 and 10.
Mm.
Pretty much for his postseason career.
So why won't you put Dirk over Giannis? I personally, I think that Dirk is over Giannis.
Well, the reason why I have to say Giannis is I can't discount two MVPs and two Defensive Player of the Years. You do
And one,
that, and the
yeah,
Finals
yeah,
MVP. Like I just got to give you respect. But Dirk, he really, while Dirk is going to get a lot of credit, is he's the model of how we play now. If you look at it, there's no Kevin Durant without Dirk,
mm,
and he's going to get a lot of credit for that 2011 Finals. I
mm,
mean, and just that whole playoff run. What he did, like how in pocket he was, how in the zone he was. I think I watched one game he played against OKC, had like 48 points, shot 24 free throws. And then when you look at what he did to the Heat, they just had no answer for him. Chris Bosh was too small. I mean, you get what I'm saying? And then the other guys, he was quicker than Joel Anthony.
mm,
So he really just controlled that whole game. And like I was really happy for him because I wanted him to win that '06 finals.
mm,
I really felt like he was robbed in that finals. So for him to come back and really just snatch it, he took it from the Heat.
mm.
He earned that. And he gonna have a lot of respect for that. I respect what Dirk did.
We're gonna slide back to the music real quick. Just a quick update, and life and times got to talk about something that's I don't want to say pertinent, but definitely a part of I don't my young adulthood. But the YSL Rico case,
Hmm.
uh, turn of events. At first, there were 65 charges against Young Thug. They have dropped those down to 8, and he is not. He is no longer facing murder charges. Um, I think it's still a very unfortunate situation because from the charges that he has, he pretty much has the testimonies of the 7 or 8 individuals that took plea deals that are going to aid in the charges that he has. So even though he's still, looking at possibly 20 to 30 years, to not be fighting a murder charge is, I guess, a win for him. But I don't want to make light of the situation. There have been people that have been affected. It is a serious issue. So even though I am a fan, I want to always say condolences to the family. And I'm a fan, but we're going to move off of that one. Last but not least, we talked about this, and we've been talking about being professional in the workplace. We talked about that at the beginning. But the first song that we play, I want to touch on it. Steve Lacy. It seems like he's having an issue with stardom. There's been reports of him lashing out at people, and I'll give you the floor on this. You could kind of because you did most of the research
Yeah,
on
no, he has been lashing out at concerts, not liking one thing I look at him is he with these artists, they're musicians, but he's a pure musician.
it.
He produces, he plays instruments, and he's kind of fed up with how his art that he worked on is being consumed. Like people come to a show, he's like, "While the phone is off." So I don't think he can. I think part of it too is how he perceiving some of his stardom as well. But
Mm.
he's like, hey, you're here to watch a show. Why do you have your phone out? Listen to the music. You get what I'm saying? Focus on that. And then, he was kind of lashing out at the label because they did a sped up version of his song. And he's like, I worked hard on this. So it's kind of those things are where, like this podcast you have, you work on it, this your baby. And then somebody come in and put in funny, goofy animations and
Yeah.
chop and screw it, mix your words up. They're pretty much messing over something that you worked hard on. And you're going to be upset about that. So, like I said, part of that comes with, sometimes you got to control what you can control. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of these people, they got to understand what they signed up for. Like Bad Baby, somebody just walked up, put a phone in his face to take a selfie, and he just took their phone and launched it. One, that's why do you feel entitled to throw somebody's stuff? But you got to realize the levels that you're reaching,
Mm.
and you're not that regular person anymore.
Mm.
No matter that if that's what you want to be. So I really think a lot of these guys, I can never really understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
I can't empathize it, but they really need to get some type of therapy, a team, and really just learn how to deal with this. Because that, Steve, he's been in the industry for a while, and you get a big hit like that. You get what I'm saying? You become a TikTok favorite. Now you're being seen everywhere, and sometimes you just want to like just work on your art. Prince was kind of like that too.
Yeah.
He was rigid. You get what I'm saying? Michael Jackson can deal with it a little bit, but he still hated too how he couldn't go to a store. Like I think they said he tried to go to like a Lakers game one time and it got shut down. He had to leave the game.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? From all that. So you pray for the brother and these musicians who's coming up. Sometimes too, you got to understand why you got into the game and remember your why,
Yeah.
and it's about Coach Prime. Sometimes you just got to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey man, you definitely was dropping a lot of jewels there at the end. I was about to ask, like, if it was something that you was thinking maybe you could give to the people, but I think keeping the main thing is where we should leave off on this. A lot of things we touched on in this podcast. Y'all know how we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's
We're
a
gonna
quick
shoot the
hitter
shit how we do it. But the main thing is when you're in these professional environments, or just period. Right now, like I said, we getting older. It's a new year. It's about staying at an even kill and not letting people or bullshit get you off your square. So when we say keep the main thing, when Dion's saying that, he not saying like, the other stuff that you got going on in your life ain't important. But when you handle the priorities, you know, life is clear when you handling your priorities, plain and simple.
for sure, man.
All right, man, we out of here. It's life and times, man. Glad we got this out the way. Peace.
Yeah.